Hi everybody, my name is Michael Moore, and in this video we're going to go over all the outside components and where all the hookups are and go through every single storage bay so you're familiar with where everything is stored. After you get things set up, first thing you're going to want to do is get your power hooked up and then get your toilet, sewer, and water and cable television. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start by going all the way to the back of the coach. That's where the power reel is located at. And you'll see this little small door right here. Use the small key on your key ring to unlock this door. And inside you will find the power reel. The power reel extends by just gently pulling outwards. The power reel also has a retract mechanism. So when you push this little button right here, it will retract and bring the spool back. Just be careful when you retract it. Don't retract it all the way. Give a little bit of slack so you can tuck the plug back underneath. So you'll want to pull this out. You have 50 feet of wire, and that's where you're going to hook up to your main power. After you've hooked up the power, we're going to want to move over here and go to the water and sewer hookup bay, which is the bay located on the driver's side, right in front of the rear tires. Open the bay doors and get yourself familiar with the control panel. Inside here, we have the ability to fill the tank as well as hook up to the water supply. So when you're camping, you want to pull the hose out. It's also on a reel. And you get about 25 feet of hose, and you want to hook this thing up. But before you hook that thing up to the water, you always want to use a water pressure regulator. So in the bay right next to the water hookups is going to be all your hoses. So you might as well get this thing open too. And you'll want to grab your water pressure regulator right here and make sure that thing is hooked up in between the coach and the park. And if you need extra extension, we have extra extensions in there as well. So once you've hooked everything up, you want to make sure you flip this lever to city water, and then away you go. Make sure all your valves are turned off. If you want to drain the water in the tank, if you go all the way in the back, there is a valve right back here, which you use to drain all the water in the tank. That's your fresh water supply. There's also valves over here on this side and this side, which also need to be open, which will drain all of the actual interior water lines. Make sure all these valves, this one, and those ones are always closed. That way you won't lose your water. Now when you hook up your sewer, you'll want to unscrew this little thingy right here, and you will want to undo the cap right here, and then you want to bring your sewer hose up underneath and then through here and connect it. And you want to make sure that if you're parked for a while and you want to use the shower and the washing, you undo this particular button right here. This one is the solid waste, which is the toilet, which you only want to dump when it gets full. This one is the sinks and everything, and so if you're going to be parked for a while, make sure you just keep this one open. That way all the sink water and from the washing machines, as well as your shower, just runs right into the drain. The reason why you let the toilet fill up is that you don't want the toilet to be just running into your pipes, because it can get kind of gross, and if there's not enough fluid movement, the sediment can get stuck in the pipe and then smell. So you wait till the toilet gets full, and then you pull the plug, and all the stuff just goes down the drain in a big mad dash. Then you rinse it a couple times by flushing it, and then close the valve, and then drop in one of the toilet tablets. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll close the fresh water ahead of time, I close the liquid drain and let the shower run for about 10 minutes to fill it up halfway. Then I pull the toilet, then I close the toilet, and then I pull the other drain, and that way it really cleans out your hose. So anyway, there's more of that to be read up online. But other stuff out here is your cable TV and satellite hookups. You have outside shower. You have the ability also to hook up a hose for additional fresh water. This thing rolls the hose reel up, so when you're done going, you can just simply push this little button and up your hose goes. Don't go too far, it'll go all the way in there, so don't want to let you break it off. This is your gauges right here to see how much water you have in the tank. And I'm just draining the system right now, so there's not any water in it. And then when I fill it up, I will move this thing to tank fill, and then I will hook this up to the water, and this will then fill the internal tank. So, and then then I'll just leave it like that. So anyway, this plug right here is for when you're dumping your toilet. You can, it has a little thing inside the tank that spins around and really cleans the tank out. So you can hook the hose up to here with your valve open and really clean the inside of the tank. And so that's recommended every like 4 or 5 times. There is a heater in here, right here, to where if you're in freezing temperatures, you can keep heat in this bay right here, which will make sure your pipes don't freeze. Okay, we close the bay off. Now, when you're hooking up to power, sometimes you might need an extra extension. The thing has 50 foot, but if you need more, or if you need some power adapters, in the first bay over here contains the power basket. And so you're able to get lots of extra power cords that have a 50 amp extension, a 30 amp extension, and then a few adapters. So everything to plug into different power sources. Just keep in mind, if you plug into 30 amps or anything less than 50 amps, you can't run all air conditioners simultaneously, because the air conditioners do require 50 amps. Okay, in the next segment, we're going to walk through and go through every single bay. Starting from the rear of the coach, if you ever have any problems with your lights, you can come in and undo these little bays right here. This is where you got access to all of your lighting controls that are right back here, as well as you can see the great big air intake. You can't open the radiator up unless you undo a whole bunch of screws, so that's not very serviceable. The first bay you're going to run into over here is going to be your air filter and exhaust controls. As you can see in here, nothing you have to worry about. It just lets you know kind of what's going on back there. Next bay over here is going to be a side radiator, which is an auxiliary radiator for the transmission to keep things extra cool. Moving right along, you got great big Goodyear tires. They're from 2023, so they're pretty new. Okay, as we mentioned, here is the bay for all utilities. Remember, all the hoses can fit underneath, then go down through the bottom, and when you're done, you just close it up, make it look nice. The next bay over here has additional sewer hoses. I don't know, it probably got roughly 50 feet or so of sewer hose, various adapters. I have a sewer hose ramp that'll help keep the sewer hose at an angle. I got some bleach for sanitizing the system, and some additional valves and additional hoses. The next bay over here is our storage bay. These bays are unlocked by using a regular key. And so you can just grab a regular key right there. And so inside of this bay is where all of the user storage is. This is where I store the grills, chairs, outdoor umbrellas. Here's enough seating in here for about 7 people. I have a Blackstone grill, which does need some cleaning, so bring some extra oil. I do have a brush. We go to the next bay over here, and this is where I also have the power adapters. And these bays, this bay is also on a movable track, so you pull this little lever right here, and the whole bay will come out. Now make sure if you have stuff stored on the other side, make sure it has enough clearance to reach. But this bay can be pulled out. It's nice when the slide outs are out and you can pull the things out. So we have a wheel chock just in case you need to park and you need to do any maintenance on the vehicle. Release the air pressure, always use wheel chocks. I just use them if I'm ever going to be parked on an incline. We have a tool kit in here, as well as roadside emergency and fishing. And I also have electric skillet and an additional table. Make sure this bay is locked right here by going like that before you roll. This next bay is the gas, and so to get access to the gas, you'll use the motorhome coach. You have 2 ways to open this thing. You can simply open the gas bay right here, or you can open up the whole bay by going right here. And this gas tank is accessible on either side of the coach. So depending on wherever the pump is, you can fill up on your side. Moving forward, the last bay over here is the chassis electronics bay. This is going to be the fuse panel and relays for all of the chassis components. This will be your blinkers, your backup lights, airbags, all the various systems. It's all labeled right here, and I have extra fuses and extra relays and fuse pullers in this bay. From time to time I've had problems, well, not problems, but I've shorted out the blinkers and the stoplight by improperly hooking up the trailer, or when I towed my Jeep I had the wires crossed and it flipped a couple fuses. So anyway, I found those, and anyway, so you just look up your fuse panel if some of the stuff doesn't work. In each bay you'll notice there's a little light right here, and these lights by default are turned off. There's a switch inside the coach where you can enable all the bay lights, and that way it'll turn that circuit on. Okay, moving all the way around. The next bay right here is the generator bay, and there's a little pull thingy right underneath here where you'd pull this thing out, and then what this will do is allow you to slide the generator out. Now the thing is, if you're parked on an angle, it won't let you pull it out, and so that's probably for the best. So anyway, so keep that thing kind of secure, and yeah, it's not going to want to open it right here. So anyway, it's for servicing the generator. You definitely want to make sure that thing is locked and secure before you travel, or the whole generator will roll forward. Again, we got the gas bay right here. You can fill either side. It just still goes into the same tank. Okay. Moving along, we have the other storage bay. This is where I have a cooler and a few other things stored in here, so you're able to get to those. Actually, no, that cooler is hidden against the top of that thing, so we'll have to be kind of careful. Anyway, so we got a cooler in here, and again, if you want to get access to these things, you can pull this whole thing out. There is a grill in here, but it's not meant to be used as an outdoor cooking area because it'll get too hot and melt the paint. So if you're doing grilling, make sure you take the grill far away from the coach on some table somewhere. Okay, always make sure that thing is locked. Kind of wiggle it back and forth. These bay doors are closed. Now, when you travel, you want to make sure that you always lock all the bay doors, just in case. Okay, and this other panel up top here that's kind of hidden is going to be where your television is at. I'm currently servicing the TV, and I'll have it installed soon. I was upgrading the TV, and so it mounts from the rear, and you have a nice TV that sits up in here, as well as there are additional speakers that hook up to entertainment center that hasn't been set up yet. So this will be set up with outdoor TV for you, and there's also wires that hook it up to the HDMI cables and a few other things like right here. So that way we can relay. We can also make it so all the TVs can play the same thing, which is kind of cool. And you got a little cover. Okay, moving along. The next bay over here is also where you're going to have all of your chairs and seating. So we have enough chairs for about 7 people. These are all your kind of more comfy type chairs, recliners, zero gravity chairs and rockers in here. Other chairs are just more fold-up chairs back there. We do have an additional shade, like a 10 by 10 pop-up shade that's in the back. And there is also a Pendleton blanket for you, an additional blanket, which probably should go inside because it's still in good condition. Yeah, it's not a rug, it's just a nice blanket in there. Gosh, there's additional hookups in here. There's a power hookup right here. So if you want to run a cord and run it outside underneath, you can hook up some additional accessories and run it off the coach. Okay, moving along, next bay. This is going to be your aqua hot system or your hot water system. You don't got to worry about doing anything with this. It's not really user serviceable, but just so you know where it is, this unit is where it uses diesel fuel to heat your hot water, as well as electricity, and also supplements your rooftop heating with in-floor heating. So when you're running the heat and you have aqua hot on, it will pipe water through the floor, which is pretty cool. This bay over here is gives you access or just where you can look at your fresh water tank, which is that big tank underneath there. And this right here is a filter. So it's a built-in filter that gets changed regularly. And if you need to service that, you want to make sure the water is turned off first, and open a faucet, and then undo your filter. Okay, moving along. As you can see outside, how everything kind of fits tightly, how you got your awnings that fit up nice and tight. This window has an additional awning that you can pull down. It's kind of hard to get to, the little string up there, but you can pull that down and hook it up to this little latch, and we'll give you additional shelter. Okay, this area right here is the battery bay, and so that's going to be all the house batteries that we have. They're those things are, looks like they're 12-volt lead acid, and so little older batteries, but we're going to get, we'll keep upgrading those things. So always keep checking the voltage. Make sure you don't run low if you do run your generator for a while. Okay, moving along over here, this is going to be where the engine batteries are, and so in this bay right here is the 2 batteries that go to the engine. So it's got a completely separate system, so even if the motorhome runs low on battery, the engine will still start. But if the batteries in the engine die, you can use the batteries in the motorhome to supplement it. There's a button inside called battery boost, and you can push that button and use the battery power from the house batteries to power the engine if the engine batteries are dead. So at least you got a couple different backups there, a couple gauges in there, and this is really not anything up there about servicing at all. But just so you know, in case something happens, that's the battery bay. Now the cruiser lift is a motorcycle lift that goes up and down. There is a switch for the cruiser lift that lives in the battery bay over here, and that will have a little trigger which will raise and lower the lift up and down. Other than that, I don't know too much about the cruiser lift, as it came with the coach and I haven't actually used it myself. As always, when you're getting ready to tear down and get everything hooked up, you want to make sure you grab all the power adapters, the surge protector, and the water pressure regulators, all your hoses and everything. And then also, when you have all the slides pushed in, you want to make sure there's absolutely no gap between any of the holes right there, and that'll let you know that your slides are all the way in. If not, go in and maybe release them a little bit and pull them back in again. Also, one thing to make note of is the exhaust pipe can get extremely hot, and so when you're pulling into a campground or going somewhere, make sure this does not come in contact with any grass, or park somewhere, let it cool down for like an hour and then drive in, because that exhaust can get really hot and it could start a fire. The tires shouldn't require any maintenance. They're required to be at about 125 psi, which requires a commercial tire filling station. So if they do go low, just pull into some truck stop and they'll be able to check your air pressure for you. Yeah, if your cameras are spotty, remember you have little cameras located in the mirrors, you might just need to clean those a little bit from time to time. There's your windshield wipers and everything else. Alrighty, well, this includes the video and all the outside components. One more thing to make note of. There is a keyhole that exists behind this tape right here. It's very important you don't use this key to lock the coach. Only use the deadbolt to lock the coach. This is more secure and is a more reliable lock. This lock, sometimes it needs to be adjusted from time to time, and it gets stuck and has been known to not unlock. I accidentally broke one key off trying to unlock myself, so only lock the deadbolt. That's why I have tape on this thing. And so you can lock it from the inside just by simply coming back here and activating locking mechanisms. But I just recommend don't lock that latch too much, because it can cause some problems. And so anyway, as soon as you open up the door, you notice the steps automatically come in and come out. And so there is a switch inside that will keep the steps open for you. They're just kind of annoying when you're parked for a while. Okay, well, this concludes the video of everything on the outside. I hope you enjoy your stay, and I hope this helped answer a few questions for you.